So,
Sure.
what would you recommend to someone who is looking to grow their network?
There's a couple things that will help you grow your network on LinkedIn. So, first and foremost, you have to have a network, and then you can really deliver to your network. So, if you are just joining LinkedIn or just starting to build your network and connection base, it's pretty easy to get started. Like, think of your colleagues, think of your clients, think of your colleagues in your last job, think of your neighbors, and you just go from there. And LinkedIn makes it very easy. If I connect with you now, it will suggest your connections to me. And that's a great way to introduce myself as I see that we're both connected to Victor and we play in the same space. So it'd be great to, see if there's synergies for us. So building your network, LinkedIn recently added restrictions to your connection limit. So back in the day, you could connect with as many people you wanted to, and it was their discretion to accept it or not. I think
Mm,
now you could do 100 connection requests a week. Not to say that you couldn't receive more, so you can gain more than 100 new connections a week, but you can only send out 100 requests.
mhm,
The other way to do it is through followers, and the difference in followers on LinkedIn is that we can follow each other, but we're not going to show up as first connections, and that will limit my ability to network with your network. But once you surpass 30,000 connections, you have no choice but to move into that follower space. So I've made do with it. I've never really understood why LinkedIn capped the connections on
mhm,
a networking platform. It's very counterintuitive.
mhm.
Um, and I do understand the spam, and people don't want to be, harassed and sold every time they open an email. But when I think of my network, even my 30,000 connections, I will say that they're all relevant. They all play in my industry. They all play in locations where we do business. Do I know 30,000 people? Absolutely not. But this is how I will get to know them, is by leveraging the connections and the connections to the connections and so on.
Mhm.
That's step one, is to build your network. Step two is then to engage. And there's really two ways to go about it. You could either respond to other people's content, and if you're shy or you're nervous about putting yourself out there, that's the best first step. Go through your feed, share your opinions, comment on other people's content, share their content with your network. Sometimes you can make a comment on someone else's post, and that may get you more exposure than if you were to post it yourself. So,
Mhm, mhm,
people love to banter and network through the comments. And then the second step, and this requires, more thoughtfulness and more planning, but to share your content and to have an audience that you're speaking to consistently, a set of messages that you really stick to, and put yourself out there. And there's so many ways to share content, so many different types of content to share.
mhm.
And there's still, with all of the LinkedIn users, only 2% of the profiles are actually sharing content right now. So, while it feels like your
Wow.
feed may be, yeah, really saturated and there's, so many different conversations going on, it's a very small percentage of their total user base that's actually putting content out there on a regular basis.